I want to talk to you about a subject, a word, if you will, a powerful word that I think is a game changer. And that word is ignorance. Well, I don't mean it in the sense that people mean it in the mean way, but I mean it in the true sense of the word. Ignorance, that you just flat out don't know. Well, those of you all who know me know that I preach and I also teach. So I'm traveling doing both. Well, on one of my journeys, I was traveling on a plane on my mission to go preach and teach. And I happened to be, if you're an unbeliever, it was fate. But if you're a believer, then you know this was ordained. I happened to be, I was destined to be sitting next to a police officer. If you know anything about what's going on in Charlotte, it is unrest. But there are a lot of those who are just protesting peacefully. The heart of it is a peaceful protest. And if you know anything about me, those of you who do know me, know that I am an activist. I'm an educational activist. I am also a civil activist. But I believe even Christ was an activist. I mean, for us to shy away from that is crazy. It's ludicrous. But the fact that I want to bring up today again is that word ignorance. Well, I was destined and placed to be placed right next in my plane seat to a policeman, a white officer, not in gear. He was traveling like a regular traveler like me. And it just so happened through plain conversation on the plane that we got to talking about what's going on in our communities around the country, particularly with African American unarmed men. So he felt comfortable enough to talk with me and to shed light on my ignorance. And I was able to talk to him and shed light on his ignorance. Turns out to be, after flying and talking and flying, that we both were less ignorant when we got off that plane. We were more in tune to what officers have to go through, and he was more in tune with what the African American community, particularly those of us who are African American males, have to deal with when a white officer pulls us over. I mean, I am telling you that if we could have flown around the world and put great leaders on that plane and forced them to sit and talk, forced them to understand what African Americans feel in this country when they continuously see harsh sentences passed out for us and very light sentences for the same offenses passed out for them. When we continuously see African American men shot down in the streets for traffic violations. Really? But at the same time, he helped me to understand the process, that officers have to go through. Now, he understood that he has some implicit biases, that he has some biases that he's working with. And I understood that I had some biases. I didn't understand everything that he had to process when he's on the job. And he certainly didn't understand the way we were processing and responding every time a black man is shot. I mean, it was just a great plane ride. So I end this just by saying, once again, the word that could really help us out if we were less ignorant about other people's issues, more understanding, more informed about other folk issues. Now, I don't care how much information you get, there are still going to be those people who are possessed by their evil, possessed by their mindset that they are right and they're not going to change it whatsoever. But there are the majority of us who, with more information, more understanding, coming from someone who is calm, who is rational, who is articulate, someone who does not have an axe to grind, someone who just truly wants to share information. I'm telling you, we can make folk less ignorant, and we can bring more people to our side if we were able just to be able to talk. So my pastor has a thing that he has us going through at our church called your fave five, or your favorite five. And he asked us, in your circle of influence, your favorite 5 people, write them down on a sheet of paper. Write those favorite people down. And if everybody in your fave 5, your top 5, looks like you, talks like you, and thinks like you, you might be in trouble. You might be ignorant. So I'll leave you today just by saying, expand your horizons, talk to other people, show them love, open your mind, shut your mouth, listen sometimes, open your heart. and be less ignorant. We could change the world. Be blessed and powerful.